Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gotham City. I'm your host, Levy Rozman. This is a podcast where I talk to people who live in the chess world on the 64 squares and beyond them. This is episode number 3, and today I'm going to be talking to Samay Raina. He is an Indian comedian turned massive YouTuber turned massive chess star as well. We have nearly a 2-hour conversation on all aspects of life, and I hope you enjoy. We're live, by the way, so...
Yeah,
how are
cool.
you? You good?
I'm all good, all good. You know, all the things that you're talking about, like how in the previous episode you were nervous because it was your first time. I think that even that could have been good content.
Oh yeah, they know. Well, you're the third guest, so I don't know how big this podcast will get or if it'll be a total disaster, but
I think you should just do things without a goal. You already have one channel where you have all your goals being met. This channel you can just chill. You can have like a Sprite. I know what you just had.
Perrier. Not sponsored. Sorry, it was a anonymous sparkling beverage, and if anybody wants to sponsor the podcast, I will.
Do you have sponsors for your channel, for your main channel?
For my nobody consistent, but you know the brands that are like, hey, promote us for this, like a video in the next 2 weeks, and then we'll pay you. Yeah, it's.
You know, do you put that hashtag paid promotion? Apparently, you're supposed to put that as a responsible influencer. Whenever you do a paid promotion, it has to be out there that this is a promotion.
Well, on YouTube, when you upload, you can click paid promotion, so it says it, and then whenever I do it on social media or on Twitch, I have to. It's like the law. It's the law in the United States.
I didn't know that. I used to for 1 year, I used to just promote shit. I had this thing. It was Father's Day, and I had written a great story about how my father helped me through chill. When I was a child, he used to chill me out and everything. And in the end of that post, there is, check out Fast Track because you can give a gift to your father, and people were emotional. They shared the shit out of it. And I was like, man, I should have told these guys, man. This is getting a little, I don't know, it didn't feel good.
The first one I ever did, the second one I did, I forgot to click the little box. And yeah, but after that, I kind of had a permanent reminder that I'm supposed to do that stuff, that I'm supposed to click all the right boxes. Yeah, it gets really messy. And all this stuff is really weird. Like, I just got an email from YouTube. Have you gotten this? That starting in October, what people watch your advertisements from what countries, you deduct money. Did you see that? So, for example, for me, different European countries will charge a tax on advertisements. So YouTube, I'm gonna make less money.
Less money.
It's a crazy business. Like, one day you're just hanging out making videos, and the next day you're starting to lose a ton of income, and there's nothing, you didn't do anything wrong, and there's boom.
But how much is the CPM out there? Because in India it's very less. I think I don't make as much ad revenue.
So I think India is a lot harder to monetize the popular. Even though you guys have such a massive chess audience, it's a lot harder to monetize. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think most of my audience on YouTube is from the United States. And I'm always wondering, if I actually move to Europe, will that be affected, or is it just where your audience is? So for example, if I've made a career with half my audience from the United States and I move to Europe, does that just...
But your audience will remain the same, right? Because you as a person will remain the same. That's all.
But I don't know, maybe the jurisdiction is different depending on what country I move to. No?
That way I would have streamed with the VPN on. I would have put US all the time.
Okay, that's actually very funny. Yeah, I guess you have a point. Well, I don't know, man. I'm 25, man. I'm just learning about.
I'm 23, bro. I'm like, still 2 years younger.
I was gonna. That's like one of the places I was gonna start. I was trying to figure out before the show just how old you are. You're 23, man. You're like. Do you feel like a baby or you feel like a veteran? What do you feel like?
I pretend to be like a man, but deep down I'm a baby. So I just fake it till I make it. Because one day I'll be, because all my life I've been dealing with adults right through college, because I started interning in this company where I used to sell shit. It's all about selling. And then I went into this comedy thing where it's again mostly, comics who have experience and all of that, and dealing with brands and brand managers and all of that. So I think after college, I didn't ever hang out with my own age group people much. So I kind of always hung out with older people. So I actually enjoy the company much more.
I had a similar experience. So I'm going to ask you a lot more about that stuff, but just very quickly, I was a chess teacher before I was a streamer. That was my full-time career. I had the option to go in the corporate world. So I was doing banking and all this stuff. I was trying to figure out if I was going to work in finance. I was asking people to coffee. That's a big thing in the United States. You message all these corporate people and you try to get them to talk to you. Maybe the same in India. I don't know. Maybe not. But
I've never done a corporate job, so I have no idea.
Well, this is in my experience, I was trying to get these coffee interviews and conversations, and I ended up just being a full-time chess teacher. And it's interesting because it allowed me to... My social network was exactly like yours. It was all adults because they were the parents of the kids that I was teaching. So my social network was people who were age 5 to 14 and 40 to 60. So there was no one in the middle. I would hang out with and teach kids, and we would talk about whatever was TikTok, or the only middle ground that I could have with middle schoolers or people in 4th and 3rd grade. Yeah, and we still did. We talk about sports. We talk about chess or TikTok or Instagram or whatever. And the parents, I would try to talk to the parents, and that's actually how I got some of my first interviews. I would just talk to the parents like I'm interested in working in these spaces. But yeah, I have no friends from college. I have zero friends from college.
Zero friends, same. From college, same. And I actually never understand the concept of having like 5, 7, or 10 friends. You see these groups, I don't know if it's in your friend circle, there are these 10 people groups who go on camping and they go on treks. And I'm like, how can 10 people like each other without, one of them liking this girl and she liking him and him hating him and him jealous of him? Of course, there have to be some feelings over there. I don't understand. I was always like a 2 friends guy. I always have had only 2 friends who I share everything with. One, I mean, of course, a girlfriend or 2 doesn't hurt, but yeah. What is your demographic now in terms of your audience?
You mean from where, or what do you mean?
Like age group wise?
My viewing audience? It's overwhelmingly male, obviously. That's not a surprise. Although it's
90-10?
No, dude, are you crazy? No, I know in India it's like 90-10, or it's a lot better. Dude, in the United States, before Queen's Gambit, it was 98 and 1.5.
What?
Yes, dude. Yes, of course.
I thought you were going to say, are you crazy? It's 70-30. I didn't think it would be so less.
No. So mate, it was...
you look like a good guy. You look like a... person.
Well, that's why it's probably about 4% female now, because people... I actually talk about women's issues in the last episode, which I know you listened to, and I know that everybody listening to. Actually, the last episode that I did, episode 2, because you'll be episode 3, I did it with Cutie Cinderella, and I don't know how much you followed PogChamps, but she's very outspoken. She could be very sarcastic. She can be very brash, very much like myself, especially when streaming. People disliked that episode on YouTube immediately. They didn't even watch it. They just, because she's a loud, outspoken, and can be aggressive, like a little bit more aggressive. Yeah, and she's female. So yeah, we talked about...
I think on the internet, if you're a female, you are bound to get more hate than men. That is a given, I feel.
It's a whole nother element to it, right? Because it's not just, I hate you or I want to be a troll. There's also an entire element that's sexual in nature, and it's much worse. You get all the other side of the abuse.
I never thought it was the same out there. Whatever, like whenever I stream with like a good looking, I don't know if that's a politically correct way to say it anymore, but a good looking female, then the entire chat starts saying, very sexual things and stuff. Then I have to make the chat subscribers only.
Yeah.
And then I kind of feel bad, but I didn't know it's the same thing out there also. It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere, and you constantly have to deal with the fact that you're dating according to the chat, or every time you make a joke and the other person laughs, like, oh, that's it, there it is. It's
exactly, bro, exactly.
No, of course, man, of course, it's the same everywhere. But yeah, we talked about that. No, my audience now is about 96 and 4, which is a massive increase from what it was. My video called "How to Play Chess," just how to play chess, I celebrated when it was 75-25. So there was a couple of months in a row that video was 75-25. That's a massive accomplishment in chess.
When I just did my stand-up thing, I won a show. It's called Comic Stan. It was a show on Amazon Prime. I'm pretty sure you don't know about it. But during that time, once I won that show, my audience was 50-50, bro.
On YouTube?
On Instagram, 50-50.
On Instagram.
Yeah, and then I started streaming, and then now it has become, I think, 85-15.
Okay. Wow, but that's still insane. That's still insane that it's even that high. I'll say this, so the messages that I get, like I don't have a lot of DMs open. Actually, I don't have any because of what happened with Indonesia. which you probably remember.
Yeah.
The only place people can contact is really like maybe like business email. Sometimes they'll get through and I'll read some. Men are funny. So men send me, obviously they're nice. They'll send me thank yous, but they send me games. Some just send me a game to review. They're like, hey, can you tell me what I'm good and bad at? That's always a funny one. They'll ask for different questions or suggestions, or some men contact me who are just unfortunately crazy. Like,
do you have these messages? Day 57 of trying to get a reply from Levy. Day 58 of trying to get a reply from Levy.
No. I get that on YouTube. Yeah, I get like, day 77 of asking Gotham to make a video of opposite colored bishop endgames, particularly where one side is up a pawn or two. By the way, the person who writes that comment probably just heard that and
wrote a comment again.
He's seen me. No, so I get that from men. I get a whole different crazy genre and spectrum of contacts from men. I've been contacted by women for two things. Number one, thank you so much for...
It's my boyfriend's birthday. Can you please wish him happy birthday?
Yes. Yeah, bro! Yes. My boyfriend is a huge fan.
Huge fan of yours.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and I did a few, but I'm not gonna lie, man. Listen, ladies, gentlemen, it gets exhausting. I feel like you've seen Harry Potter, read Harry Potter?
Yeah, of course. I love it.
So it's like when Voldemort killed people, he parts of his soul he put into parts of objects. Yeah, Horcruxes. So I'm not saying that I've ever killed anybody. But what I'm saying is all these little interactions, slowly but surely, they just drain all your energy, right? And by the end of the day, I want nothing else than to lay in bed, like have Lucy there reading a book and just like not talk to the outside world. And we all need that. I'm very extroverted, but I really think the pandemic has just destroyed that. I used to be like 95-5 on the Myers-Briggs or all those personality tests, 95% extrovert, 5% introvert. Now I'm probably like 80-20, 70-30. Like I don't like...
Currently you're 100.
Well, yeah, currently. Now that I'm going to... Well, it's you're here, and I know that if I stop talking, you'll pick it up and go and... Yeah.
Trust.
Dude, how'd you get into all this? So you're a comedian who became a chess player and streamer. How did that happen? How did you become a comedian? What'd you go to school for? Can we start all the way back there? What'd you go to school for?
I went to school for getting bullied. Okay. And then I went to college where I realized that whatever I'm studying is bullshit.
Okay, like, but what did you study?
What the fuck am I doing? I studied printing engineering, bro. They taught us how to print. I knew that. That's how I fucking got admitted into the college, because I fucking printed that paper and signed it and gave it to them. And they were teaching us printing again. And that was my department, printing engineering, it's called. And, I read about it. I saw all these cool things called 3D printing and everything. Nothing happened. That just some jack shit. They were teaching us how to print preview and how to do a print and how to what are all the hardware devices of computers. This was our like 15 marks questions. So I realized I have to get out of this mess. So I tried a lot of things. I did stand-up comedy finally in my second year of college.
So wait, real quick, how did you... Like I stream, I'm a clown all the time. Stand-up freaks me out because I really want to do it. I think I would be really funny, but it's scary. It's nerve-wracking. Did you just had a natural ability, or did you like drink alcohol beforehand? Like how did that, you just get up on stage and...
The first time I did it was an open mic organized by one of my friends. And I was not aware of how open mics are. So I took 16 friends to go check it out. And there were only 17 people in the audience that day. And 16 were my friends. And one guy was the one who performed after me. So I naturally won. They laughed at all my jokes. They were like, he's my friend. He's giving me beer today. I told them I'll give you beer if you laugh at my jokes. So then I just won that fucking open mic. And the venue loved me because I get people all the time. So they gave me more spots. And that continued until the day that I finally actually performed in a big auditorium. And then I didn't kill as hard, and I realized, okay, I have to kill again, like that day. Remember in the fucking bar when I killed in front of my friends? So then I kept at it. And then material just keeps building. I think one misconception that people have about stand-up comedians is that you have to do a new hour everywhere. That's not true. You have an hour.
Mm-hmm.
You have only 1 hour of jokes, or maybe 2 or whatever. Like even 5 minute spots is fine. And you keep doing it again and again. The same jokes. You keep doing it every place. You make them better. You improve something that didn't work in the previous show, and that's how you have a set which you're confident at, that this set will work no matter where. I've tried this 1,000 times in every age group. These jokes work here, these jokes don't. So it's all maths in your head. Okay, let's do this now. Okay, now it's a crazy joke is coming. So let's do a new joke here. If this doesn't work, I still have the crazy joke. So it's all of that.
It's like chess.
Everything is like chess that day.
Everything. I could be one of these business people, you know? I make my quarterly estimates, you know? It's like a game of chess. I love that, the comparison to chess with everything. No, that's really funny. So is the assumption that if you go to a comedy show, you won't go again, and it'll just be another person who will go? And so, or is it like a tour? Do you just do the same set for a tour? Or do you... Oh, that's how you do it.
Yeah, you tour. You do a set everywhere in the country. You take it outside the country, you cook it. You cook the special. Like first you have like, let's say you have 5 minutes. Then you do open mics. You do a spot where there are like 12 comedians. Everyone's doing 5 minutes. So everyone does their 5 minutes, and whatever works. You make it longer next time. You add something more. You have another bit. Once you have an hour, you have some audience. You do a tour. Your tour does well with, you do like 30 shows. It gets tighter. Your show is now ready for someone to buy. If someone's interested, maybe HBO over there. Here we have Netflix, Amazon Prime. And if not, YouTube is always there. So that's it.
Okay, that makes sense, because I was going to say that's probably how a person who wants to see you doesn't accidentally pay you twice for the exact same routine. Because I know...
Usually during the end of our shows only, while ending, we say, okay, guys, don't come back for 7 months now, because it's going to be the same set.
Oh, that's funny.
You guys are going to... And it's like crazy how many people don't understand. Like once I had done 4 shows back to back in Pune, in my home city. And there was this guy who had bought tickets to all 4.
Oh,
and by the 4th day, he was telling me my punchlines. And he was like, bro, you forgot that joke. I was like, fuck you. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you for directly telling out the punchline now. What do I do?
I think I'm quite good with adapting on the fly. So if like a heckler would yell at me during the show, I would be pretty quick. And but the whole element, just... I think as I get older, there's just so much more anxiety about what could go wrong at any given moment. So I try to over-prepare, and I realize that for me, the best thing is to just go and improvise. It doesn't work the same in chess. It doesn't. If I go play a long game against the 2400, I need to do the prep. You actually do need to do the prep and hypothesize. But life is different. You can't... It's not the same.
That's why you should try improv comedy. You should try improv. Like in improv, there are games you can play, where you have to be spontaneous, where you have to, and it's like a group activity, so you end up having fun. But I suggest that if you want to try stand-up, just go for it. Go for an open mic, bomb straight for 5 minutes, and then analyze your game. And then play chess, and then realize why you should be playing chess, not doing stand-up.
So you were doing stand-up. Wow. Did you
I was doing stand-up. I was watching Agad Mater's videos. I was hooked onto them, bro. He still is one of my favorite content creators out there. So I used to always watch, like whatever he used to put, I used to follow everything. The Bobby Fischer saga, the Mikhail Tal games. And, all these players were these heroes in my head. Oh, Tal is a sacrificing player. Bobby Fischer is like a mystical, mythical creature who had some issues in his head, but he still fought on the board and everything. So then I really got into that. And finally, when I started streaming, I invited him, and he was very kind and very sweet to come on my stream. And that's how it all started. And I think all credit goes to him. Like he inspired me. He came on my stream, helped me out. And
when was this? Like
1 year ago.
No,
somewhere around that. Yeah.
No, it wasn't a year ago. It was like May 2020, or when?
April 2020.
Yeah, so
20.
When the world shut down. When the world shut down.
2 days before the world shut down, like before my country shut down. 2 days before that, I got all my streaming set up right, and I was just in time.
It's funny. So first of all, just as a quick aside, I was still teaching chess in March of 2020, and I remember when I finished the lesson and I went on the street and I pulled out my phone and I was messaging my friend about, I don't know, basketball probably, and I saw that there was a woman who had just landed in New York from Iran, and she had COVID. That was our first first positive case in New York City. This was March 2nd, maybe February. I think that's like my timeline in my head. I could be totally wrong. And I remember texting everybody, "Oh, here it comes." And then we had the Jewish guy in Westchester, New York, and then we had he went to a wedding or something, and then it went from there. And slowly, I stopped taking the train. I only took Ubers, and then I wasn't wearing a mask yet, but I was making all my students rub their hands not with like soap, like with rubbing alcohol. Like, hey, you better disinfect everything. And then finally, at some point, I was like, all right, guys, this is too scary. I'm gonna start doing the streaming. And second thing I wanted to mention about what you said is, I often joke and make sarcastic comments about becoming the biggest chess YouTuber, and there's this whole rivalry and competition. I have so much respect for Antonio and all these guys who were making the content before it was ever clear chess was going to be anything, because without him there'd be nothing on YouTube. Like,
nothing at all.
2,500 videos. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I just made my 500th video. He has 5 times more than that. Like,
Bro, Chess Based India, dude, this Sagar guy is probably has like, I think 5,000 videos now. Like, he's been doing it since so long. So
I knew Sagar as the guy behind the camera. I'm here with this GM.
Today I am here. Look at the Batumi Olympiad. We have here Sargesian. Here Levy Chess is looking at me. He's gonna be a bigger YouTuber in 2 years. And here we have Haik Martirosian, and he's made a complete vlog out of it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those channels where I just randomly go and see a video, and every time I see something new, and I'm like, wow, I never saw this before.
Funny story. I don't know if I still have this on my phone, because I might have changed phones, but at the beginning of 2020, I was trying to get more commentary roles. And I asked Anna Rudolph or someone to introduce me to Sagar Shah, because I figured Sagar could help me get some commentary roles. And I contacted him like January 2020. And I was a total nobody, like absolutely nobody, just a random IM from New York City. And I really wanted some help. And I think he was like, hey man, like for sure, like if anything comes up, I'll let you know. And then COVID hit, and well, the rest is history. But how did you grow up? So you went to school to get the job?
These days, horizontally.
No, I mean, I'm talking like, childhood. What is, you grew up in Pune, you said?
Actually, I'm from Kashmir. Do you know about anything about Kashmir?
Only that it's, when I hear Kashmir, I know that it's a good material. And I also know that it's a very hotly contested political area that I don't even want to get into, because I don't know enough about it.
I'm from there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we had to migrate as like birds. We had to leave our hometown, and we had to start all over from scratch in another city where my dad wasn't making much money. So he really grinded a lot, worked double shifts, got me into a decent school. Finally, for my higher education, he got me into a very good school. Okay. But then I felt very out of place over there, because these guys are all fucking, millionaires and all of this. And like some were there, but I just didn't feel, right. Like, I belonged there. Like they spoke a different language. They looked all different. And they used to pick on me and all of that stuff. But once I went into college, I realized I can be whoever I want. These guys don't know anything about me. Like, I can just pretend to be the confident guy, and that's all. And I started being that guy. I started making fun of people. I started, picking on people, like how, like, hey, whatever, in the group, I used to make fun of somebody, and it used to go on, and they used to be like, hey, Samay's funny. Let's call him tomorrow also for this thing. And that's how it started. And that's how I started. I met my friend who got me into comedy, who organized that show. And then I won that show. And that's how it happened. I think for me, life always fell into place some or the other way. Like even now, when I fall into some trouble, I feel it'll figure it itself on
like
its own.
being late to the podcast. You just, you just said, let's just do it in 3.5 hours, and easy.
Yeah. Like easy. Even in 3.5 hours at 12 today, right now, like when I was supposed to do the podcast, I forgot that I had another stream planned with this guy called Raj Shamani. And I was like, oh man, I can't say no to Levy twice in a row. That'll be rude. I already did that to, who's that guy? There's this nice chess YouTuber, right? Chessbra. I fucking cancelled 3 times on him in a row, and all the 3 times it was something came up, man. And now, of course, that guy hates my guts. Like, he's
Yeah,
like,
they're not gonna do it. Yeah. I
Yeah,
even remember there was a clip. He was like, he canceled on us 3 times. Yeah.
yeah.
It
So
does-
I thought something like that's gonna happen. But then at 12, like just 10 minutes before, that guy messaged me, bro, you know, something happened to me and I can't come to it. I was like, fuck yeah, that's right,
yes,
luck.
Yes.
And it has always been like that for me since the past 4-5 years, I think.
Yeah, I've only recently, maybe in the past 6 to 8 months, I actually start putting everything on Google Calendar. Everything. Like spa, gym. Well, the spa is like I'm going to the spa for the first time with Lucy on Monday. But I'm just saying, you know, I'm looking at my calendar. You know, right here, Samay is on my Sunday to-do list.
Do you have like a manager who does all of this for you?
No, dude. I'm a one-man, like... I have an emotional backbone and life backbone, and that's Lucy. I mean, I would not be who I am if it wasn't for Lucy. But no, dude, everything is me. I mean, I have a YouTube thumbnail guy, but at the end of the day, it's hey man, here's my idea. Let's work on this idea together. I have agents who bring me deals and everything, but and I only recently got like an official lawyer/legal team, so if I ever have a question, I contact them. Dude, I don't think people quite understand like the growth of all this and finding a team and people that you trust. It's constantly missing in my life because I legitimately do not have the time to research projects I want to work on and learn about stuff. You ever feel this way? Like, I want to do like 10 things. I can't possibly learn all of it. I just can't. There's nothing I can do. Like, do you have a team?
I have a team because my stand-up thing happened. No, so there's a company called OML who manages like 40-50 stand-up comedians. So it's probably all of the comedians. In fact, they have a monopoly on the comedy market. So they manage me. They take care of all my Google Calendar, I just have to show up and they take care of all the negotiations, everything. But of course, when it comes to content and when it comes to my YouTube channel or what I put out, it's all me. It's all my ideas. Yep. And yeah, I also feel that, I feel in my head is very restless. It can't focus on one thing. It wants to do 10 things. I want to play chess also. I want to stand up also. I want to do rap also. I want to play guitar also. I want to write also. Like, I want to do so many things. I want to edit, but then I just pace myself down these days and I take it bit by bit. I'm like, okay, you know what? Because right now I'm in this huge confusion area where I'm not sure what will I be doing now in 1 year, because now stand-up is not opened up yet. But when it will, I really want to go back to stand-up, going every night, doing your thing, writing a new joke, not working, fixing it, making it work. But then I can't do streaming, because for doing stand-up, for me at least, when I want to do stand-up, I want to be fully in stand-up. Anywhere I'm going, anything happens, I'm like, oh, this can be a joke. Anything that happens, like anything we talk, I see something behind you, I'm like, oh wow, that's actually funny. This guy has a bat logo on his chest piece. Oh, I can write something about that. So I should be in that zone all the time. Then I can't do streaming. But if I don't do streaming, I really enjoy streaming these days. It makes me happy. It makes me, it's like therapy, honestly, if I tell you, streaming for me. Like people often tell me, Samay, you helped us through lockdown, when we felt very sad, we looked at your streams, we felt happy. And it's like, it's the same for me. I don't know what I would be doing. Streaming makes me very happy. It genuinely makes me happy. But stand-up gives me those kicks. It gives me that feeling of a rock star. I think it's the closest one can feel to being a rock star. Like there's a crowd and you're getting like a wave of applause and you're saying things like words and making them feel shit.
Yeah. That's amazing. I love watching.
Who's your favorite stand-up comedian?
Wow, this might be the first official moment in the history of this podcast that I could get canceled. So
why
I'm
is
ready.
it Louis C.K.?
Yes.
Bro, he's my favorite as well, bro. Louis C.K. is the GOAT. There is art and then there's the artist. I understand what you're saying. And I'll try to save you from that, because I'll say most of things. They can't cancel me here. They'll cancel you. Your country is getting really cancelly these days.
Yeah.
Dude, fine. He did whatever he did, fucked up things to do, but his jokes are funny. There's this comedian in India, his name is Saurav. He had this observation. He said, okay, tomorrow, if you would get to know that Thomas Edison did something horrible in his life, fucked a goat or something. You wouldn't switch off your lights and start living in darkness.
Yes.
Right? You wouldn't cancel his work. His work is still fucking tube light. Okay, fine, cancel it then.
Samay, to play devil's advocate, that man invented electricity and another man tells jokes, right? So I feel like, we don't have an option with the guy who made electricity, although he did steal it from Tesla, right? Isn't that the...
Yeah, that's the story.
So I feel like, yes, but there's a logical fallacy, what that's called.
See,
it's like when you take the most extreme example, you want free healthcare? What are we going to end up like Venezuela? One of those things. So,
but dude, that guy's jokes, don't they crack you up? Like, fine. Even if like whatever he did, there's art and then there's artist. And it's a personal decision. For me personally, I can separate both. I can say he's an asshole. What he did was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
No one should do that. It's fucking punish him. But fucking, what a joke.
Yeah.
His joke about 9/11, dude, that's one of the funniest shit I've heard. He says, when, according to you, Levy, was the correct time to masturbate? Right after the 9/11 crash. Then he goes, for me, it was between the two towers falling.
Samay.
That's a funny joke.
Behave. I don't want to get demonetized myself.
Oh man, come on. How much ad revenue you making here?
Not a lot on this podcast. Not a lot. I'll be honest. Luckily this doesn't go on the main channel. He's hilarious. There was a period of time I would watch some of the old Louis C.K. shows, and every second I was laughing. There was not the second my stomach stopped hurting from laughing, he would say something else. The most recent one he did during lockdown, where you had to pay for it. I actually paid for it. It was okay. It wasn't super funny. But this happens a lot in my experience, at least in my life. I like a lot of the artist's old work. I love old Kanye, new Kanye. I'm like, old Kanye, I could listen to every song. Graduation, in my opinion, open for debate, but in my opinion, the best Kanye album, and it's not even close, but not everybody agrees with that. Like, every song on Graduation I could listen to. The same with The Weeknd, Starboy. Every song on that, every single song. Like, I could listen to that album start to finish. Every single song was fantastic. So, yeah, back to cancellation and all this stuff. It's Louis for sure. He is just...
Dude, Louis is great. Like, have you heard like Chris Rock? Have you heard Mitch Hedberg by any chance? He's a one-liner comedian.
No.
You should check him out. It's very funny.
Okay. I'm always looking for ways to kill some time, and I like stand-up comedy. I have to say, like, 90% of it doesn't make me laugh. So...
What kind of jokes do you like? Do you like cerebral jokes that make you think?
I don't know. For example, I haven't thought about what kind of jokes I like. I just know that I can listen to a comedian, and there's sometimes I'm like 10 minutes into it, I'm like, I haven't laughed once. I haven't even like cracked a smile, And some of them I'm
have you exhaled out of your nose?
I don't know.
Somebody listen to a joke and you go.
No.
Have you watched Bo Burnham by any chance?
Yeah, he can make me smile a few times. He hasn't made me laugh out loud.
Uh-huh.
He's very funny, but I don't know, man. It's something about the way Louis C.K. delivered his jokes. Or
tell me one favorite Louis C.K. joke.
I can't. It's bad. The words. I can't say the words.
Come on, man.
It's the one. No. I'm saying it's the one. It's the one where he talks about the
words that you can't say.
Yeah, the words you can't say.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say them. Sorry.
Of course. Which brings me to this point. What's up with your country in terms of cancellation, bro?
Yeah. I'm more than happy to discuss. So my country. I'm gonna try to be profound here. It's my first Joe Rogan moment. When he goes on these. My country, you can only be number 1 or number 2. That's the way it feels. You belong to a sphere of thought, political, social. You can only be in there. Every little bit that you trickle out, there's debate. Everybody wants to debate. Every tiny little bit that you're more on this side than that side. And that's just not how society works. Like, you can believe a little bit from here and a little bit from here, and there should be a little category here everybody believes in.
Yeah, like it's wrong to kill people.
There you go. There you go. And now we're going to add, what if they murdered someone? Should there be a death penalty, right? Now we start debating. Now we start debating a little bit, right? So it's really hard to find this area over here. You people listening on Spotify can't see, but I'm imagine my hands moving over to the right side. Like there's
Guys,
a
trust me,
category
you're
of
not
things-
missing out on much.
Yeah, I'm just moving my hands. But even healthcare, which I think we should find a way to make it accessible to everybody. Not everybody's going to agree with that. There's always going to be
Healthcare.
people
What is healthcare?
like, Samay, if you go to the hospital,
Okay,
what do you pay in India?
we pay a lot of money.
You pay a lot of money.
Let me Google it. How much healthcare?
Like
How much?
There are ambulances, right? In India, you call an ambulance. So you take the ambulance to the to the airport.
I've heard like India spends very less money on healthcare. I feel it's
It
always
might-
like one of those things. You know, the left is always saying that. What about healthcare? Why don't you spend more money on the healthcare, man? It's
Yeah.
fucked up.
So
You
there's
know, like
gonna
that.
there's gonna be debates because I know that you guys had a very tough response with coronavirus and everything. That's I don't want to cause too many debates in the comments or among the listeners, but essentially what I'm saying is I think that society should find a way that if a person wants to take an ambulance to the hospital, it doesn't cost them $50,000.
Yeah,
It's
that's
very-
a bit much. I think that's
very
a lot
common-
for an ambulance.
I mean, it's very common in the United States for people to never recover from medical debt and therefore never go to the hospital in the first place and live with pain. I went to the hospital because I thought I had a very serious stomach infection. I did. It could have been cured with an antibiotic, which I did not know. I spent 1 hour sitting in the emergency room corridor. They took my blood. They gave me an IV. They gave me one tablet. One tablet. I spent about 90 minutes in this hospital. That cost $4,000 USD. I have health insurance. Without that health insurance, they billed me $20,000.
What? No,
They-
that way in my country it's very cheap. It's way cheaper
Right.
than that.
I mean, I didn't need anything crazy. And so healthcare is one of these things that America has completely just torn to shreds, and I don't know that we will ever be able to recover from. But so this
I can see why you get the hate. And now I see why you get the hate on
why,
on
why,
your-
why?
because you are an opinionated person. You have your own opinions, and that's very good to have.
It's,
Because I always, whenever I'm streaming with you, there's one guy. You don't know how Levy is on Twitch. You don't know what he says.
Yeah, well, okay, on Twitch, hold on. We also need to go back to the whole thing about canceling people. But yeah, on Twitch, I'm an act. I'm basically a stand-up act on Twitch. I'm very
Of
theatrical.
course, you're playing a character.
Yes, of
everyone
course.
is.
I've met hundreds of people at whether chess tournaments or whether it's on the street or so. I don't give them some crazy sarcastic response. But when I go back to the stream and if they ask me something silly when I met with them, I'm going to make a joke about it because it's funny.
Of course.
It's funny. I ran into a guy in my where I currently live. Literally, like a few days after I moved into this building, remember that my house just got broken into. I saw a guy in the street. He goes, "Oh, you live around here?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Which building?" Because he didn't know what to say. He was a bit nervous. He just ran into me. He, sometimes that's what happens. He's like, "Oh, where do you live?" I was like,
What's your social security number?
"Yeah." I was like, "Dude, no, it's not." It's like,
Yeah, I just got broken into one of my houses now, not one more.
So it's one of those things. Yes, it's definitely an act on Twitch. I definitely make fun of chat. They definitely make fun of me, and I do go on little political tirades. But it all goes back to why do people and this whole cancellation thing. It's either here or there, right? It's
either black and white. It's either black or white. That's it.
And the problem is that we're in this country right now. We nip at each other and bite at each other of every little thing. We try to use every little thing against the other person who fundamentally disagrees with us on certain things. And what we don't realize is all the people in power will only stay there the more divided we are on everything, because then we will pledge allegiance to the person or the party and not to common sense. So you will constantly try to find ways to justify people you like and exonerate them from things that they do wrong. Like, for example, the guns issue. I don't think we should take a gun. I mean, ban all guns, period. Maybe there is a utopia where that exists, but if you live in a remote place, 20 miles drive from anywhere else, why can't you have a gun? As long as you went through very thorough background check, you have to maybe do a yearly update on your vision, your mental health. Like, I envision situations where people can live in a structured and good society and get like, I can't get a new driver's license unless I have a vision exam done.
We don't have guns here. We just have mob lynching.
Okay, I see. So that's not like guns, right? That's a very, or for example, people are just like completely abolish, defund police departments. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, granted, in my experience of calling the police, they have never helped me. Ever.
You usually get scared when you look at the police here, like that.
Yeah, I mean, here I see a lot of cops pulling up somewhere. I'm like, oh, what are they doing? There's going to be some big, but would I live in a world where they don't exist? Probably not. That seems a little bit far-fetched. Do I think we need to fundamentally restructure the way they handle their business? Yes. Will it ever happen? Probably not. It's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But the problem is that, stuff like, were many parts of the United States built upon racism? Yeah, a lot. And there's people who are just like, no. I don't want to teach that in schools. That is going to divide us.
About race?
Yeah, like, for example, the way we like built infrastructure, bridges, overpasses, like train Central Park, in New York City, for example, and then in the whole history there. We sometimes, you ever like browse something and you go, wait, I never knew this about society. I never knew this about something just some small
like there's a huge thing under Paris. I didn't know about that. There's
under Paris?
A lot of skeletons and there's a burial ground beneath Paris. Do you know about this?
No, but that's also something I was alluding to. Yeah, with like Central Park, like there's like human remains buried places, right? Like in certain parts.
I didn't know about that.
Well, you're saying in Paris.
In Paris, so this is there were so many graves and there was not enough space to put more dead people in, so they just took out all those graves and they put them under Paris in these canals, in these caves and everything. I read about it. It's pretty cool, actually. In fact, I think you can go in it and you can have like a trip also, I think.
But that doesn't sound like oppressing humans. It just sounds
no,
like
it's
history.
not oppressing humans. It's just like a chill thing to know about someplace. Well, but yes, I know. Like sometimes I see something like pyramids, and I'm like, wow, they're great. But then I get to know that they're all built by slaves, and they took so many years, thousands of years of like, oppression.
And it's very different, I think, for the U.S. because we have so many parts of our history, like. Half the country broke away from the other half in order to defend slavery. Like, this, right? The Civil War.
I've not followed US history much, but I know a little bit everywhere.
Yeah, the same way I know very little about Indian history. So like this is to me, I mean, to you, this what I'm saying is like what? Yeah, like in the 1850s, 1860s, a country literally broke in half. Half of it left and was like, we're gonna fight a war. And primarily predicated upon slavery and some other little things. And the North was like,
and half of the people defended slavery?
And the North was like, dude, slavery's bad. Like, and then there was big plantations in the South, among other things. And and so the Confederacy, which broke away, has a flag. There's like a certain flag. And there's monuments up in the United States, statues of war generals from that part that broke away.
Who are celebrated over there.
Yes. And the country's like, yo, these people literally stand for oppression. I mean, imagine being a black American, right? Like
and you see the statue of this guy.
Like, this guy wanted to enslave my ancestors, for example. Can you imagine? Like, But people are like, no, we need to defend history. So the U.S. is all sorts of messed up. It is a great place in many ways, but man, we have some crazy fixing to do. And it doesn't help that we have this wave of, you tweeted something that you thought was funny, which is very racially charged 10 years ago. Okay, career, forget about it.
Over. That's same here, bro.
Done.
That's same here. That's like,
Done.
Right now in my country regarding writing jokes and putting them out, we are so scared. We're terrified right now, brands are terrified. OTT, like, big platforms, they are terrified. They are like, no, this can't go. This actually has some reference to this politician, so this can't go.
Yep.
And it's too much. Like 10-year-old tweets, they bring them up and they write articles. There's fake propaganda, fake channels.
Yep.
There's so much bullshit happening everywhere, man. And I think, there was this comedian who got sentenced, who got jailed for 30 days for, he said something fucked up. It was a fucked up joke, but he was still trying to fucking crack some people up.
Yeah, see, again, like for all my complaints in the States, if you crack a bad joke, you just go hang out in your house with your friends for 2 weeks and no one's going to bat an eye. You're not going to go to jail for...
Yeah.
Right? So it's... We have certain benefits. But
It's very difficult when you have to defend free speech, but there's also fuck all joke. It's a fuck all joke. It's a horrible thing to say, but he was trying to be funny. He was having a bad day. He said something he thought was funny. It didn't work out. Don't put him in prison. And also there's a lot of religious angle also in my country right now. Like there's a lot of communal shit going on. The politicians trying to instigate divide on basis of religion. Like same thing Britishers did long ago, divide and rule. It's the same thing again. And many people don't see through it. And it's just clearly happening, man. And it's just sad to see it go like that.
Kind of, it ties back to what I was mentioning, like what people don't realize. The more we hate each other, the better it is for the people up top, because it's a shame. The problem is that, I mean, at this point, man, it's down to vaccines. It's down to like the really important stuff that fundamentally we should be on the same page about. And do you know, so, January 6th, have you seen like the crazy people who stormed the United States Capitol?
Yeah.
4 of the police officers who defended the Capitol that day have committed suicide.
Why?
Mix of reasons, some PTSD. I mean, some of those police officers at this point have been turned into the other side. Like there are conspiracy theories now that some of those people helped get people into the Capitol or faked something, or like the truth is not a thing anymore. You could just say things and it just goes out there, and it's nuts, man. I mean, it is absolutely crazy. Like reality.
Sometimes I just feel, like fuck everything. Let's just do my stream and let's just come have a good time and go back. But then I feel like a privileged asshole. Then I'm like, what am I? I'm just like ignoring everything else.
I've basically, what I've decided to do is that all this, which will earn me money and good living, and I don't spend crazy amounts. I'll invest it and I'll set myself and Lucy up for a good life. I'm gonna try to make changes where I can, if that means like building a school somewhere for people. Like that is a change that you can make and you can see to the end. I don't know how to fix society.
You do your part anyway, bro. Let's just move.
I might just move. Yeah, I don't know.
You do your thing. You do your charities. You keep doing a lot. You give back to the society a lot, man. So you're doing a part. I think you should just live guilt free. I mean, in fact, that day what you said really stuck with me. In fact, that I think is gonna stay with me for life. What you said was like during the pandemic, it's the audience that gave us so much, all of us. So it is only natural for us to also give back in terms of charity or whatever we can do. So that's a very nice thought.
Yeah, there's for all of our maybe complaints about haters or trolls or whatever, just to farm them for content. I mean, there's 3 types of viewers: the one that can't give you any money but is a positive influence in the community; the people that give within their means, maybe monthly subscription, maybe they buy a course here and there, like in my case, or and then there's the people that give big. The big donors, they give to the other people.
There are some crazy people, dude. There was this guy who used to always give me like 10,000 rupees, which is I don't know how many dollars. I always get confused in this. Probably not much, but yeah, it's like, and he used to always give me these big amounts, and I used to feel like, wow, this guy is crazy.
Yeah,
and he's crazy about me.
Yeah, you try to. I remember back in the day, I would like try to play those people a little bit more on stream, and as I grew, I kind of said, look, like guys, you're not really buying a crazy access to me or something, but. For example, in my Discord, what I did is some of the biggest donors, there's just a separate channel where they all hang out, and they all ended up kind of like meeting each other. They're all just regular people who are secure financially, have money, and they wanted to spend it on Twitch or YouTube or my courses or something. Like I used to get, a guy would donate, $300 and say, this is for 8 courses, raffle 8 courses, make sure 8 people get a course.
Oh,
like
wow.
openings course or something. And he just paid. Yeah, he just paid for them. So
Well, that's cool, man.
there's all sorts
You know,
of
these
viewers.
days, Levy, I look at you and I feel that you're sad somewhere. Are you?
Am I sad?
Are you sad inside, deep inside?
No, definitely not. You think I'm sad? Really?
A little bit.
Something's
You're-
missing? Well,
You're thinking of something all the time, I feel.
it's funny because I'm actually thinking of nothing. Russell Peters did a really good stand-up special about this. He was like, yeah, women look at men and they go, what are you thinking about? And I go,
What do you think about?
nothing.
I was looking at the wall.
Yeah, like I think I try to choose my words correctly so I don't come off.
It's
But
too much for me. Like I have to first think in Hindi, then I translate it in English.
Yeah,
Now I'm not gonna
yeah.
add another layer of fucking thinking what
No,
I'm
no.
saying, and I just say shit.
no, I'm happy. And mental health is weird as a creator because I was just talking to Lucy about this. On the one hand, we're still people. We still struggle with the same stuff. But on the other hand, we have platforms and we might be wealthier than 99% of people. So it's you start going, can I even have these problems? Can I ever talk about these problems? It was just like, shut up and do your thing. Go make your money. Leave us alone. Like what?
I think as a content creator, when you're out there, you are prone to more issues regarding mental health. Like I myself face a few, but I feel we should talk about it. We should like express ourselves to our audiences. I tell them sometimes when I'm streaming at night, sometimes 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning, I get very vulnerable and I start telling shit, guys, I feel like this, and I talk about feelings. And of course I make that stream private because the man inside me doesn't want to admit it, that I'm a nice little boy who doesn't want any hate, who likes to, chill and just love me.
Yeah, you're like one of the nicest people I know, dude. You like text people. You're so thankful. You text or call me afterward to say thank you. I've never even done that. I've finished collabs and then I won't talk to a person for weeks. Not because I'm a terrible guy. I never.
In our culture, it's like it's always taught to me. You should respect elders. You should talk nicely to a stranger, and of course, you should not eat something that they give you.
Yeah,
But
in New York City, you don't talk to strangers, man. That is not a thing. It's like the complete opposite,
The more I stream with you guys, I realize that I see so much difference, and I sometimes feel, that I am so comfortable in my country. In my country, there are some things like I can get away with, like jaywalking is not even a thing here. Like you can just cross the road with your hand like this, and you walk, right? Like I've seen people just like do this and stop an entire bus. And even if you don't have a license and you're riding a scooter or your car, the cop catches you, you give him like $3 and he's like, all right.
Okay, not quite the same,
bro.
here.
It's pretty cool. Sometimes I feel that it's incredible. India, it's awesome. I love so many things about our country. The only thing that I am right now struggling with is the politicians who are fucking things up for everyone. But otherwise, I love it, bro. I love the freedom you have. You can shake a shit anywhere. You can piss on the road. There's like,
you take advantage of that or not really?
I feel that if women could piss on the road, they would piss on the road. That's why they make an issue of this, because pissing on the road when you are holding it in for so long, it's the best feeling. If anything, I'm contributing to the environment. I'm pissing on the tree, which is going to grow because my piss has nitrogen and ammonia, right? It's good for the plants. What have you done for the society, Levy? I have peed on the trees in my...
Definitely not. That's a good point.
You should. In fact, if you should encourage people if they do. I feel.
Yeah, not here. No, here you.
You can't pee on the road. You can't pee on like a tree on the road.
Dude, no. I once when I was a teenager, I got in trouble for riding my bicycle on the sidewalk at like 10 o'clock at night.
Bro, here people put cars on the footpaths and kill people and get away with it.
The
only celebrities. I mean, not.
I know. Look, man. Here, this is one of the reasons that people hate the police is because it was 10 o'clock at night and there was no one around, and I'm just on the sidewalk with my friend biking, and a cop stops us and gives us both tickets. Literally, like you have to go to the court and pay $80 fine. What?
Which movie tickets?
Okay, that was good.
No, but tickets as in? Oh, a fine.
Yes. Oh, you weren't joking?
No.
Yes. You have to go to the court and then appeal it, and then if you're found guilty, you have to pay $80.
What?
For bicycle on the sidewalk, yes.
This
And
is when I love my country. This is when I'm like, what the crazy?
Yeah,
There's
I
no
know.
concept of a sidewalk here. Like there are sidewalks, but then they suddenly merge into the road. And then there's a food lady over there. There's one person with his food basket. And then you can't go on that sidewalk with your cycle.
And Samay, there's states where if a person looks at you funny and you shoot them and kill them, it's called stand your ground defense. You can not go to jail. Meanwhile, I'm a teenager biking on the sidewalk. I have to pay an $80 fine. So,
oh my God, man.
U.S. is a crazy place, man, in its own bureaucratic ways. So I ended up going to the court. I had to miss a day of college, and the judge, person before me, drinking in public is not allowed. You cannot have an open container of alcohol. Yeah, anywhere. It can't be seen. Okay, you're guilty. Next person, pissing on the sidewalk, $80 fine.
Oh man, I would be paying a lot of fines that way.
99% of the people were there for open container or urinating in public.
Bro, urinating in public, I feel for them. I feel bad for them.
And he got to me, and he goes, bicycle on the sidewalk, no signs of anything, get out of here, just don't do it again. I had to go to court, skip a day of school, because some cop decided that, I don't know, just a cop decided to write me a ticket, because I was biking, he saw me biking on the sidewalk, So, yeah, there are some...
Can you bribe these traffic police in your country?
No
Bro,
way.
Here it's like, you can't not bribe them.
No.
You have to bribe them. You have to give them money and they let you go. There's rarely they catch some people.
No, it's totally, yeah, it's bad here, man. Bureaucracy here is really a problem. There's parts of our country that are 10 years in the future and parts that are 30 years in the past. There
are same here also, but here in all those states you can piss on the road, man. They can piss on a tree and people will look at you. They'll probably think of something, but there's no cop who's gonna come. He's probably gonna come and piss with you. If anything. And then there's no tickets. They're just two people pissing on the road and saying, how are you doing, bro? Nice. All right. And then you just go.
That's so wild to me, man. It's so different.
I mean, of course, don't get the image that everyone on the road is just pissing everywhere.
No.
I'm just saying
No. My mom is a science journalist, and
Why would you think of her after I said pissing on the road? Can you first say that?
She went to India. I was gonna segue into her going to India, So I'm just gonna say this. This is not my view, but this is the advice you get in the United States before you travel to India. Just so the Indian audience knows, you have to be careful. You might poop a lot. You might your digestive health could be jeopardized because of the different types of bacteria. It's the same oftentimes if anybody from the States travels to Asia or, So my mom went to India and she had an incredible time. All these warnings about traveling to the other side of the world, because she's a science journalist. She was there. She was talking to different doctors who were studying polio. Apparently the way you guys do polio vaccinations is very different. Something, I think. You do it with a live virus, something kind of like that.
I don't know. I've just seen one ad in the television that got very popular. It was a celebrity who was endorsing polio ads and he was cussing in the middle because he was forgetting his lines. He was like, guys, you should take a polio. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that line, man? And that video got viral. Some motherfucker took that video and just put it on the internet. Okay. And that's how our country got free of polio.
That's so funny. Well, my mom was there on very serious business, she was reporting.
I'm still waiting for when this story connects to pissing on the road.
It's not. We're moving along. We're
okay. All right.
Pissing on the road book is closed, and now we're talking about my mom traveling to India, and all these warnings that Americans have to face. She was totally fine. She had a great time eating food and talking to locals and doctors and. I get a lot of questions, when are you coming to India? I really want to, obviously, when the world opens up. Now I have some friends there. I think I have you. I don't know if Vidit is my friend.
Yeah.
I hope he's my friend.
Bro, we'll hang out. Everyone's very welcoming here. And Vidit will do it for the vlog anyway.
Yeah. He'll record. My first exposure to the Indian audience, do you remember? Uh-huh. They hated me. Well, not all of them.
Yeah. I remember that.
Remember this?
Thing is Indian audience is very emotional. And so am I. We are very emotional people, it's just like that. We easily like somebody, we easily hate somebody, and it's always like that.
Well, for those that don't remember, luckily I built up a good audience just from liking my videos. But there was this Wolfpack stream I did with Vidit, Anish, Timur, and Hikaru. And it was a little bit chaotic, so I was kind of like trying to, guide people through what to do. And so at one point, Vidit left his camera on or something, didn't turn his camera off the right way. So the crop that Hikaru and I used had 4 cameras. We never used the 5-camera crop. So if Vidit's camera stayed on, it messed with things. If he turned it off but stayed in the call, it would be okay. And I kind of suggested that it would be better for us if he just turned the camera off but stayed in the call to talk to us. And
How
people
dare
just
you.
thought, I know.
How
They
dare
didn't-
you disrespect with it Gujarati like that, man?
Dude, it was bad, man. I was getting like emails. it was bad. People in the comments were like, I do not like that guy. And Samay, you know what's crazy? That happened a year ago. I have a good memory. I recognize in YouTube comments people who were angry at me a year ago, still angry at me in your comments, or a niche or somewhere being like, why is this guy so popular? I will never understand. It's been a year and their opinion has never changed since that day. The day I disrespected, or I didn't disrespect, I was just trying to say like, hey man, so.
How is the American audience? Are they emotional or what is it?
Bro, I mean, emotional in different
Like,
ways. Yeah. But we just talked about cancel culture, dude. It's like it's bad here, man. It's like for sure, yeah. I make.
Is it like very easily they like somebody and very easily they dislike somebody? Is it like that?
Well,
Like for example, I'll give you an example. For example, if I put a stand-up video and in the end of it, I'll just touch the ground and I'll do this, like this, and then the video ends. People are in the comments are gonna be like, "Wow, what a down-to-earth guy. He touched the floor while that shows his love for stand-up. That shows his love for the art form." And then people are writing, "Yeah, you should love your art." And then they get very like touched by these things. You know what I'm saying?
if
They get easily touched.
You touch the floor after a show in America, I think they'd be like, why do you touch the floor? It's kind of weird. Yeah, no, we get emotional, I guess, for different things. If you said a joke that was pretty offensive, or a female member of the audience started arguing with you and you said something that could be misconstrued as like very sexist, even though you're a comedian and you're respectful to women, you just, you're putting on an act. Yeah, like stuff like that. But no, we're emotional in different ways. Sometimes for example, I was recording an episode of Guess the ELO, and I was saying, oh my God, a lot. I said, oh my God, 4 or 5 times in a row. And I immediately said, oh no, I shouldn't say that, because the last time I said that, somebody in the comments was, you shouldn't use God's name in vain. That's very don't say, oh my God, that's and it's like a legit, it's not a troll. I clicked the account.
This guy must have problems watching porn.
Yeah, probably does have problems watching porn. That is a very fair point. Or doesn't watch it. That also is an option.
That probably explains why he's so angry in life.
That probably does explain why yes, exactly. To be honest, it's completely logical. As much as it was supposed to be funny, it's also very true. And I immediately after that said, oh, I shouldn't say, oh my God, people will get offended. And then I basically said, did God tell you that he or she would be offended? That's what I said.
He or she. I like how you said he or she.
Yeah, well, for my American audience, I don't want to assume. So I said something like that. Look, at the end of the day, people know how I view life. You could be religious. By all means, be religious. Just don't let the way you live your life infringe or damage the way other people live their life. That's it. That's it. That's like that's it. That's it. Let other people live their life. You believe what you want to believe. Now, people were mad, man. And then the way YouTube works, a collective, like a beehive of people formed surrounding this opinion over here, that you shouldn't.
That don't take God's name in vain.
No. First of all,
my God.
It's in the 10 Commandments, number 1. But then, then they got really offended that I made this joke, you like very angry. I'm unsubscribing all this stuff. Like, okay, yeah, but you're gonna still click my video when it appears in your recommended section, so it's subscribe or not. But how can you live your life like that? Getting so offended over stuff.
Tell me what image forms in your head of this person. Like I can clearly imagine this person in my country. If I would tell, what face do you think? What ethnicity do you think? Tell me everything about this guy that is in your head.
It's not that. Well, a lot of cranky people are white in the United States. We got a lot of cranky white folks. You know, Karens. That's what we call them. So with Karens or Kyles or Kevins, it's always. Somehow, anytime I crack these jokes, people from India, people who are African American, people who are Asian, they always laugh. Always. They always laugh. They find the humor in this stuff. You know, Indians always tell me to do an Indian accent. They always ask me to impersonate Vishy Anand. I can't, man. I can't do it. If I do a Vishy Anand impersonation, it's like, it's racist. I can't do an Indian accent as a white guy or a Chinese accent.
In India, it's like we have seen so much variety. There are like thousands of languages, so many different cultures within India. There's so much variety. We have seen so much different kinds of people. Yeah, we are okay with these kind of things. And right now, there's a lot of like right-wing cancel culture going on. Like if you say anything on religion, you are fucked. If you say anything on a political party, we'll come behind you and all of that thing. That this cancel culture has still not come as big that if you say something, you know, like you something there's a transgender and you say something about it, like that thing is still not reached. You can still make a joke. You know, that day I told you a joke, right? Remember on stream, and you were like, what the fuck is this joke? You I'll get cancelled for it. That was like, okay, it was that like another joke. And I've seen the community is very dank. There are these young people who is coming up, the next generation. They are fucking crazy people, bro. They're the kind of memes they share, kind of humor they have. It's very dark and it's very funny, and I love it. And I feel that's how it should be. That they're just people laughing harmlessly on jokes. That's all. What are they gonna do? They're sharing a joke. In fact, the more you make it not jokeable about, the more funny it is if you joke about it.
Yeah, the problem is that then there is an issue with this, and it can straight up just lead to, you know, misogyny, and then people go, oh, it's just a joke. That's the problem. The problem is that with all this, we will never all get on the same page. Like, some people will go way too extreme.
But you don't have to be on the same page, right? You don't have to. That's what equality is. Everybody needs to, like, is okay to have their own opinion. Is okay to say whatever they want, as long as you are not hurting somebody, like physically or whatever, like hate speech and all of that shit. That's how you get legends like George Carlin. That's how you get legends like Bill Burr and Louis C.K. and you know, so many people.
Yeah.
The Andrew Schulz. Do you follow this guy, Andrew Schulz?
You asked me that like 30 minutes ago.
Bro, listen to this guy, bro. Andrew Schulz is one of the funniest people you'll find. And he does a lot of shows in your country. Go check him out sometime, man.
Okay.
He's so funny and so politically incorrect, but funny, you know? He touches the line and then he comes back. Enjoy it.
I'll watch a few clips. I never heard of him. So it's good. I like listening to funny new comedians that I've never heard of. You told me you don't have a passport.
I don't have a passport, man. I didn't even have a bank account until I won some money in this comedy show. Because they never teach you this shit in school.
Oh, no, definitely not. No,
they teach you fucking mitochondria. Who the fuck cares about mitochondria, man? Where is mitochondria going to help me? It's a powerhouse of cell, not powerhouse of my fucking house.
I know.
They don't teach taxes. They don't teach finance. They don't teach investment. They don't teach all the real shit.
They don't teach the real history. They teach.
Yeah.
History
is different in every country.
Well, it's also, you know? Not to go back to everything that we've been discussing, but they don't teach all the atrocities that were committed, and then learning from them. They
always teach you the motivational thing, the revolt of 1850, how we revolted, how we got in what we did here, you know, to the caste system. They don't really talk about it. I really feel like, especially, how is the education system in your country, man? In my country, education system is a failure. I feel it's a joke. Like, if you get stuck in that system, you're fucked. You have to at one point get out of it or be really good at it. So write the complete cream of it. Like, go to the best school or the best college, then it's great. Like the IIT may be best. But if you go to they're like, I don't know, million engineering colleges in the country. and everyone's becoming an engineer. No one knows why they're becoming an engineer. What are they trying to make? Everything is already made. They're just stuck in the system. How is it there?
We have a lot of talking points about education. I mean, basically what I'll say is we obviously have, so we have K-12. So kindergarten, which is when you're 4 or 5, 12th grade, which is the last grade of high school, and then you go to college. So you also have pre-K. So before kindergarten, pre-K is not...
Pre-K is the time when the child is drinking breast milk, right?
No, you could be like 3.5, 4 years old. It's pre-K. Okay. So before that is nursery.
Yeah, that's basically when he's drinking milk from the breast, right?
Well, I don't know.
I drank. When I was a child, I drank milk from breast until I think I was 5.
Actually?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's a little late. But I don't know.
My mom didn't mind.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's kids in the United States that probably are still drinking milk and they're like 18.
20, 23.
Yes, we have some. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I thought it stopped at 2, 3. But like I said, this is what I know from American medicine, American I have no idea. I have no clue. So, you have the age 2, age 3, age 4, which is not fundamentally agreed upon, and you can go basically anywhere. You just find a place that takes care of kids at that age. But where it gets interesting is K-12, because you have private school, you pay to send your kid there, and a lot of private school has like a lot of celebrities, and they all try to preach different things, that we do things in a different way, or we have all the best tools, or we have all the modern this and that. And let me tell you something, the way these kids teach, the way these schools teach these kids is crazy, man. Like, some of these schools don't grade you on tests until high school. You get to age 14, you've never received a numerical number which quantifies how well you scored on a test. It's all... Good. You like that?
I love that.
Okay, so yeah, I mean...
Why make a child insecure like at that age? Like,
okay, so sure. To me, that's super weird. I think that's
for
really
me,
weird.
What is weirder is teaching them something they're never going to use, and then just making them...
yes,
mug up shit and then write that in the exam, and that's all.
Yes, that I agree.
That's even worse to me,
dude. It's like the genre of this podcast is a little bit of here, a little bit of that. You know, I don't think you should go through all of school just being told, okay, well, this is good, but this needs a little bit of improvement. I think you should, at the end of the day, like, you need to quantify something. Yes, I understand, like, we standardized testing and all this. It's really not the best approach to finding out how smart a child is or what their potential is. And I understand that everybody just ends up studying for a subject they couldn't care less about. And the second they take the test, they forget everything. But some of these schools are really, really weird. And some schools also cost $50,000 a year.
Whoa.
For a 6-year-old. Like,
whoa.
You don't need to spend that money.
Yeah.
And then the public schools are terrible. So there's many places where public schools are okay, but there's also many, like big cities, some of the worst public schools, like they close because all the kids there are failing all the time. And then that becomes an argument of, is it a socioeconomic thing? Is it a cultural thing? Is it this? And then what some schools do is some schools want to promote more diversity. So they want to bring kids from different parts of the city, even though some of the kids that are getting in might have lower test scores than some of the kids from other parts of the city. And that leads to a war, that leads to a complete meltdown. Everyone's like, my kid is scoring better and is getting discriminated against. So yeah, just like anything else, it's a total chaos here.
We have a reservation system that works similarly, where we have like reservations of like on basis of caste, on basis of somewhere gender also, like so many things. That is there, but is like, do you not have compulsory attendance in public schools? Mandatory,
yeah.
75%.
We have like, well, if you go to a school, if it's in your zone, for example, or if you live somewhere, or we don't here's what I'll say. We don't have caste, so we don't have, I guess, like a thing that identifies where you are in the caste system. Rather, in the United States, we like to pretend it doesn't exist, but it 100% exists. Yeah,
exists. Yeah,
See, America's very good at that.
I myself get this benefit of being a Kashmiri. So I got some discount in in my engineering.
Mm.
So it, worked for me.
When I asked your chat earlier today, what a few things that I should ask you during the podcast, one of the things they asked you was like, why did you abandon Kashmir? I don't know if that's a meme or if that was some crazy person trying to get.
Bro, because I didn't want to get killed.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. And then there was two others.
There was like a ethnic cleansing happening there, bro. So I just had to make a run for it.
That's why my grandparents left the Soviet Union. They hated Jews there. The most offensive joke that I make about Jews is like, yo, why does everyone hate us, man? We must have been pissing people off for thousands of years for every civilization to try to get rid of us. That's the most offensive joke that I'll make.
And you can make it because you're Jewish.
I'm Jewish.
Right?
I can make all the
That's
Jewish
why you
jokes.
can make it. Yeah, that's cool.
Yep. I'm sorry, Jews, if I offended you, but
that's why I make all the Kashmir jokes, man.
Yeah, exactly. I always just say like, of course I can make. People in the chat are asking me about donations. I'm like, what are you talking? You're talking to a Jewish man about donations. Of course, here's the link. Here's all the different ways that I take payment. Okay, so the other two things were GF reveal. This is obviously a thing that I've seen everywhere. Yeah. It's a big thing.
I'm seeing someone, and she's a little older than me, but I don't know. I like to keep it like personal for now. But the chat always is like GF reveal at 1900. When you reach 1850, GF reveal. So then I also play along. I'm like, okay, let's do GF reveal. And then there's a friend called Gamer Fleet. I just reveal him because he's on GF. Something like that. I fuck around. But yeah, I'm a very one woman kind of a guy. I like to be with somebody. I feel I'm a very nice person when I'm with a woman, I feel when I'm with my girlfriend, I'm a different person. And that person is like a child and is like a boy. And he's not a mature guy. He's like all lovey-dovey and all these, oh, my boo-boo kind of a guy. And I enjoy that space, man, because that's the only place I get to be that.
Yeah. I like for sure talking in a totally different tone of voice or being. I mean, of course, that's like a side of you that you're only going to share with one person. I will say that.
Or if you guys subscribe to my channel, maybe members only stream. We might do it.
Oh yeah, of course. You got to pay for it, and then
pay for it. Top tier membership.
But what I found with Lucy was so I had to change obviously a few things for the relationship to work. We both did, but me more for sure. Definitely more.
For sure. I think there's so many more wrong things with men. I have noticed this.
Yeah,
for sure.
I had to listen to certain things about myself and go, you know what? Yep. And I still do actually pretty proactively. I'll just randomly hit the pause button, which I think a lot of us don't do in life, even if everything is good, like maintenance check, and go, you know what? Why am I doing this one thing? We frequently will either convince ourselves of that we are doing something correctly, and it's just like we don't. You think about it, you go, why am I doing this? What? Or why am I not doing this thing a different way? And it could be job, career, bad habit, hygiene, health, anything, really anything, and mental health, anything. And you just have to hit the pause button and just take a look. And so I had to do it for sure. But I think one thing that makes this relationship work so well with Lucy is the fact that we actually can very much be ourselves. So we'll spend a day screwing around with each other. We'll be in different rooms, and anytime one of us comes into the other's line of sight, we'll give each other the middle finger. Little stupid games, or we'll just be arguing, and she'll be like, oh, you're such a moron. I'll be like, you're a moron. And then we just start arguing about who's the bigger moron. And we things like that. We have no filter with each other. We're total, but if we need to be serious, we're going to be serious 100%. We're going to have a totally serious, conversation, but we can be sarcastic. We can be idiots together. We can be that's what you need. I don't think you can have just a chunk missing. And I think what's also very important is what I think a lot of men have to realize is that's your best friend.
That is.
You have male best friends maybe before that who have known you longer, known things you've gone through. in other relationships or other parts of life, the kind of person you've been for longer, but like that person will become your friend, not in a consuming way, not in a toxic way, not in anything like that. And she'll give you your space with your friends when necessary, or he will give you your space with your friends when I was just talking about. But yeah, that's one thing that really makes a healthy relationship work. And
I feel every time, with every relationship, I have become much better as a human being. You see,
that's good.
like with,
but not in a way that you adapted to that person, just period.
No, of course not.
Yeah,
just a better person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and what I realized very late, in fact, was that a relationship.
You're 23. What do you mean very late? You're 23.
I mean, I've done my dating, man. I've been in like committed relationships for long, fucking 4 or 5 years. So what I realized is that relationship is literally like a ship that you both are paddling, and you have to work towards the ship, not towards you, and towards the thing that you make together, towards the, like, you have to make some sacrifices. They do go out of their way for something, and it's not about me being right or them being right. It's about what is best for the relationship that you do. And that way, keeping that vision in my mind, I've been very clear in my head in terms of my relationship. Like, I'm very sorted. I feel very sorted when I think about my private life. I'm like, oh, this part is sorted. This gigs I'm doing, I always have insecurities. Am I writing a good joke? Am I not? I'm not sure about everything. But with this, I'm like, oh, this is perfect. This is like, I wouldn't change a thing about this.
Yeah, it helps a lot to have stability. That's it. Stability. Like just have something stable you never need to think about.
Sometimes she puts these things in my head, but you're only 23, you have to explore more shit. I'm like, what are you, should I cheat on you or what? Like, what are you just hinting at? She's like, are you sure this is for you? Like, I am looking for something serious here. I'm like, let's have some fun, but also be serious. What do you mean, let's look for something serious? We're not having some disease.
It's true. Yeah, I mean, Lucy and I we have those moments. I definitely, we do have the stereotype in the relationship that I, as the male, think about nothing. If you just ever catch me sitting, like we talked about earlier, if you ever just catch me sitting there, like I'm just literally staring at nothing, it's usually thinking about nothing. Or I am always brainstorming new content, or I'm always brainstorming how to work on some new project or what I'm currently working on or something. I am never spending any time ruminating on the relationship because I'm good. Everything's good. Like, as far as I'm concerned,
same.
Is everything's good.
But does she do that?
A lot. Yeah.
A lot. Yeah.
But there are days where it's like, hey, we need to talk about this one thing.
Yeah.
And I'm really bad. Like, this is the problem. I can't sometimes always just sit and be serious. I'll just make fun of her. I'll just laugh at her for thinking that way. And she'll be like, what are you laughing about? I'll just be like, I'll be like, dude, what are you stressing about? Like, we'll figure it out. As always, we'll figure it out.
I think, do you think that comes from the place that, like, I, for example, am unable to handle so much emotion at once? I just want to chill. I want to just have it like everything should be just not so emotionally heavy that I'm thinking and getting sad about it. I just want to be chill about things.
Maybe. I mean, we're all...
I think I have very low EQ.
Okay, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. I just feel like, have you not heard Bill Burr's bit where he goes, like, as men, when you grow up, you're always taught to be strong and to not call a puppy cute and to not say cute things.
Sure, yeah, I guess.
It's all hidden beneath.
I grew up not listening to anybody.
Uh-huh.
I was a chess player, and chess is a very individual activity. You don't have teammates. You just rely on yourself.
Unless you're playing 4-player chess.
Correct, yes. But, individually, and I had divorced parents, so I spent my childhood carving out the best of each one of them, finding like when one would give me something or one, and then I was the youngest in my grade in school because my mom pushed me through. I skipped straight to first grade. I was always the youngest one, so I had to really believe in myself, and a lot of that, like, so I wouldn't get bullied. I was always the loudest. Even though I was the smallest, I always was the first to fight. I always was the first to be sarcastic. I always was the first, and everybody was kind of like, oh, it's this brat, and that still got me some friends, but it was better than getting bullied all the time. So I was always like that. I was always the kind of person that I had to rely on myself, for better or for worse, which always made me stubborn. It made me like not listen to what people said to me. So I was not raised in much way at all. I mean, I kind of absorbed my information from parts, and then I sort of, like, I was hanging out in New York City by myself at the age of 12, which you can't do as a girl. You can't do as a girl. That's
Why?
the way. Because society is disgusting, man. Society needs
I always
fixing.
think of New York and I think all these cool people just hanging out, chilling, going
Yeah,
out
it
on
is.
bicycles.
It is. But the truth is, it's very different being a young boy and a young girl. It's just, unfortunately, we want to. I wish it wasn't, but that's why my mom like didn't care. She was like, "Dude, go out and."
The more we talk, the more I don't want to get a visa, man. The passport,
New York is great as a tourist. It's also great living here. It's just, yeah, the problems are the problems. I mean, I'm a cranky man, that's another Jewish stereotype. We complain a lot. So I'm a cranky
Plus,
man.
you're 25. This is the arrogance of youth.
I'm 25. My lower back is like 50.
Oh man, yeah, that happens a lot. When recently I had this toothache and I realized, oh fuck, am I getting old? This
Might just be your
tooth
tooth.
started hurting. And I just,
tell me when the disc in your spine leaves the area. Talk to me then. But
did that happen to you? Did that happen to you?
I have a herniated disc. I've had it since I was 16.
Oh man, I had 2 root canals, but that's it. That guy told me while root canals, I said, anything changes in my life after this? He said, you can't be an astronaut. I said, look at my marks, man. I can anyway not be an astronaut.
Yeah.
So tell me anything else. He said, no, you're cool. But until touch wood, nothing major has happened to me. I get scared with diseases. I am a hypochondriac. I don't know what that's called. Basically, I see if something happens to me. If my jaw starts hurting, I Google, my jaw is hurting, left tooth. What is it? Cancer. You're going to die in 5 days. And then I just freak out. I call everybody up and they're like, relax. It's Google. It's Google. On Google, Samay, your worth is 14 billion. That's not true. Just chill.
It's like 12.
Okay.
It's 12. It's like it's like how there is this meme about Hikaru. If you look up Hikaru's net worth, it's $45 million. It's like,
yeah. And it's never true. It's like, I don't know what those guys are smoking.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, what like through your days have you like indulged?
Smoking?
Smoking, drinking, chilling, partying.
When I was a teenager, I've smoked weed before as a teenager. I've never said that in any YouTube way. I don't think I said it on stream. I'm very open about it on stream.
Is it legal in your country though?
In parts, in certain parts.
So you smoked in those parts, obviously.
Yes.
When you were in those parts, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, it's illegal otherwise. Also, only pirated software in the legal part. Only downloaded programs illegally in the legal parts, where it was legal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, as a teenager, you're exposed to it, and I was very lucky because my mom was very chill about it, and she would talk to me about it, and she would
roll you a joint.
Not to that extent, but she would tell me the risks, and it really you need to have. That's the problem, right? You need to have parents. You need to have older people who can tell you the right way to live life.
I was always scared of my dad, man. I as a child, I never had that equation. My dad used to come in the room. I used to have you seen Family Guy?
Yeah.
It was like that kind of situation back in the day. Now it's all cool though. But yeah, were your parents cool like that?
You're not the first person either from India or of Indian descent that I know to have this dynamic with their father. We used to. I grew up in a neighborhood in New Jersey, which is like 30 miles away, where we had like a notorious couple of Indian dads who were very scary. A couple of families were very nice, but we had a couple of dads like if they the whole school was afraid of them. Not just the kid. The whole school knew that if they showed up in the school, someone was either going to get their ass beat or the whole school was going to get their ass beat, dude. So yeah, it's actually funny also just whenever I taught Indian kids, some had very chill families and some had the dad who sat with the kid and argued with me. He'd argue I'm not teaching the kid the right way.
Oh man.
He would
Was
be
it
like,
Abhimanyu Mishra's dad?
no, it's not him. But it would be like the dad who's got like a chess.com rating of 600, like sitting there like, why is it not this move? Ishan, pay attention, like.
Yeah. My father used to make me eat vegetables. See, thing is, my father grew up in Kashmir, okay, and then that got taken away from him. But all the vegetables and everything, he fucking loves them. He loves to have, it's called haq in Kashmiri. It's like green, it's like spinach. And he used to make me have that. Anytime I used to have food, he used to put it in my plate like this much. And if I wouldn't eat it, he would slap me and he would be, fucking eat this shit. It's Kashmir. It's Kashmir. You have to keep this inside you. We have to pass this on to generation and generation. Every time he was to walk in my room, what I used to do, I used to first have that entire thing in my mouth and then have the chicken curry, and then I would have everything. And then what he would do, he would see that I already had it so that my taste doesn't get spoiled. He would give me more at the end of it. Because he was that kind of a father. And I used to get like, if I there's so many times I've taken a piss in the wash basin, because if I go inside and I do the flush at 2 a.m., he might wake up and be like, what the fuck are you doing at 2 a.m.? So I would just slowly piss in that wash basin on near the trees and all of that shit. So I have never said I love you to my dad. Never.
Really?
I can't even. I don't think even he can.
Wow.
I love him. But there is something about the dynamic. I can say I love you to my mom every day. But with my dad, it's like, I love you and you know that, but I can't say that to you because, I don't know.
It's a different culture. It's like here growing up, I treated my dad with no respect growing up, basically.
No respect.
No respect.
That's not possible. That's something I can't imagine.
It's not because I was probably a terrible child. But when you have like split parents, it's, you end up internally picking a side a little bit. And
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll find out.
We had it was a tumultuous, it was a weird, dynamic as I grew up. And now I'm obviously older. I'm like, damn, I wish 14-year-old me didn't behave that way. But what are you gonna do? You're 14 years old. You're complete psychopath. And let's not forget, that's also why I quit chess between 12 and 15. Because I was a lunatic. I was just... like I said, nobody could sit me down. Nobody could talk to me. I was going around and inhaling things or drinking things. Luckily, I was always kind of scared of getting into too dangerous of a situation. Yeah, so, I never tried. I was terrified of hard drugs. So, and even eat like I haven't smoked in almost 10 years because
that's awesome.
I got it all out of the way as like a crazy
What do you mean
teenager.
10 years? You were 15 back then. Were you smoking when you were 15?
Yes.
Oh man, that's weird. That's crazy.
I got the whole phase.
When
done.
did you start? 11? I know chess players start early. I don't know that.
No,
even in this...
like 14 to 17, maybe 15 to maybe 18.
Oh, smoking, I don't know. Never felt the...
It was there. It was there, and it felt good. The worst thing that happens to you, you do it with a nice group of friends. You have snacks. Everything is funny. Music sounds better. You want to go for a walk. Everything's great. The problem is that as you get older, more anxieties kick in. You get really stressed. I remember I thought I had a day when I was dying. And I called my mom and I was like, Mom, I'm gonna die. Because my heart rate was really crazy. And my mom was at a journalism conference at a table.
Hey, Levy, can you die later? I'm in the middle of a meeting.
She excused herself and talked to me and calmed me down. I put a wet towel all over my head and face for an hour. And I sat on the bathroom floor until it wore off and I was okay. And my mom went back to the table and they were like, what happened? She's like, my kid smoked something that was too... And they're like, why are you not killing him? And she's like, worse things can happen, And since then I've been a good boy. I've never... And it's silly. It's silly. Of course, if you have some CBD or you do some of this CBD oil or vape, which is cleaner than the smoke inhalation, it's fine, man. All this stuff, it's demonized, but it's not as bad as alcohol. Alcohol can destroy your body. It can completely, worst thing that happens when you smoke too much weed, you pass out or you hallucinate or you eat too much.
You don't hallucinate when you do weed, man.
I know, but you can like get anxiety because you're paranoid. That's like what happened to
Yeah.
me. That's what happened to me. I was like freaking out, but yeah, it's all this stuff.
I'll give you my dealer's number. He'll give you better weed.
No, maybe, but no, I'm a good boy, but if I ever come back, I won't announce it on the podcast, you know? Although it's legal in New York now. It's legal in New York, so
Is it? Oh,
I think
cool.
so.
Here, porn is banned here. Forget about weed. You know, weed was legal in India long ago.
Of course, it's like always the same story. Then they find a way to make it crazy and then they ban it, right? It's like,
Yeah.
I
They
mean,
didn't want people to have fun and chill. They're like, be stressed. We want to divide. We want to fuck up with you.
one of my favorite countries in the world, Singapore, it's also banned. They'll kill you if you bring it in. you
Yeah,
know?
bro. They are too. Like, somewhere, like, I am so grateful that in my country there's extremes, but like, not like this much that they'll kill you for a joint. You'll probably have to give $1,000 instead
I
of
love it.
$5.
Dude, I love it. I love Singapore. I love
They
Singapore.
kill you if they find weed on you. They kill you.
So don't do it. What's the problem?
Dude, that's
Dude,
crazy. Here in India,
I
there was
went
they found a farm which was growing weed legally. You know what they did? They burnt it.
Yeah, I mean, in the United States, you know, there's people who go around forests, natural forests, and if they see marijuana growing, they burn it. You just in the forest. There's
They get
people-
high after that.
Probably, yeah. Honestly, it sounds like a great
that
job.
that village was high. I remember. I don't know where it was. I was reading about it. Like that entire place, they got high as fuck after that. The cops were like, "Wait, what happened here?"
Yep.
And then they're like, "So you just burned this shit down? It was weed."
Yep. It's there's a lot of history that I'd love to read up on one day of all this like drugs and drug trades and how like certain drugs have destroyed societies or how society demonized, like for example, marijuana, like in the United States. But I can't pretend like I read any books. You read any books?
It's I Tinkle Digest and Asterix, if that counts.
Yeah, see, like I haven't read something and been like, oh wow, it's fascinating. I just learned something. You know, I don't have the attention span. I find myself reading a book. I read a page. I go, what just happened?
I forget the first paragraph.
Whole page. Yeah.
Same. And I really tried, I really tried to be that guy. I read Harry Potter entirely. I really loved it. I read Goosebumps. But then when it gets to these crazy books, like John Grisham and all these big books, and I'm like, this is a little thick for me.
Yeah, I just bought a book, and I bought a book a few months ago. I was really excited. The most exciting thing is when you're at the store and you see this beautiful book and the front cover looks so interesting and the art is so interesting and you're in the bookstore so you feel inspired, and then it's a book about the genome, how we started sequencing DNA to predict what diseases you'll have and what you're more prone to, and how it used to cost $100,000 and now you could do it on swab the inside of your mouth, send it to the lab, you're 75% Caucasian and 25% idiot, like me. So I think I'm 100% Russian Jewish. Like it's like literally 100%. So stuff like that. And I read the first 7 pages. And I don't even know where the book is anymore, man. I lost the book. I don't know where it is.
I always, whenever I'm at the airport, I go to the bookstore, and that guy, by now he knows me by face. Like this, the asshole who just comes, has a look around and never buys shit,
I buy the candy. I buy the candy.
I buy food right opposite to that shop. The guy looks at me, you motherfucker, you spend 40 minutes here, you go there for 5 minutes, you order a fucking burger. And here I'm just looking at all books. I like looking at books. I like smelling them, but I cannot read them. I'm like, it's too much work. Make a movie out of this fast.
Oh yeah, man. Documentaries are great, but
Documentaries are great, bro.
See, I have this mindset with chess too. It's like I used to get the physical copies. Now I learn my best from the courses. Even for me, like some of this chessable stuff, which is obviously made for title players and like masters, I can only learn from the video. I can't learn from the digital print, and I can't learn from the move trainer. I have to watch the video, and I have to play with the chessboard on this monitor, and that's the only way I can learn. And it's the same with, that's just how I learn best. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, reading, I think, people I've seen, they do a lot of it. Not for me, not my cup of tea. I like to watch either 7-second, like you see these people, they have clips channels, like Buddhist clips and all. That is my attention span.
Like Gotham City. Yeah, I just made my new clips channel. Yeah.
So that's the kind of shit I watch. Like 30 seconds, I'm good. That's my attention span there for you. You know, I think TikTok and Instagram Reels has done all this to us.
Yep.
I'm telling you, they have reduced our attention span now and they're selling us shit now. And you are a main cause of this, your Gotham City clips. Well, like, you know,
Yep.
I used to be a guy who used to watch 2 hours like Shawshank Redemption and, you know, Pulp Fiction. And now I watch Instagram Reels and people, teenagers dancing and showing their butt.
Yep.
And that's content now.
Yep. It's
Well,
I don't know, man.
do you watch Instagram Reels and all that? Like trends, the dance, and then
Well,
they like
I always make the joke that it's impossible to use Instagram as a guy, because my Instagram is, for some reason, cars, even though I don't even like I don't, it's always like somebody racing a car or some sports car or fixing a car. Then it's sports makes sense, some NBA, some MMA, and then it's like 70% random girls on my explore page. I always laugh with like Lucy. I'm like, I can't use Instagram. I use Instagram to upload my own stuff and scroll through people I follow. I cannot go to the Instagram explore page. And they're always like, oh, it's your search. I'm like, no, dude, go to any dude's Instagram. You can't do it, man. It's like, it's nuts.
Instagram is an OTT now. It has become a platform. It has become a platform for people to showcase their shit now. It used to be a place where you used to upload a good photo of a flower with a nice caption on it that you took off Google to seem cool. Yep. But now it has become like, you know, all those challenges and bust it. Come on, show me your ass, bust it. It's that thing. Tell me that you are a piece of shit without telling me you're a piece of shit. And then they do something on that. Then they just exist. They just exist and they're like, okay, mission accomplished.
Yeah, I don't watch Instagram Reels because a lot of them are recycled TikToks. I just go to TikTok. And actually, TikTok
is banned in my country, bro.
I know. I'm sorry. Did they end up banning, they didn't ban Twitter, or did they?
There was a movement on Twitter itself that said ban Twitter.
I mean, they should ban certain people off of Twitter, but they shouldn't ban Twitter. I mean, yeah, one thing, actually, I completely forgot to say this. So if somebody listened to the podcast like an hour and 20 minutes ago and now is listening to it an hour later, one thing I was going to say is social media is such a trap, because when you're not happy, even if you're okay in your day-to-day life, gotta remember, a lot of people post the best moments of their life, or they just fake it. Yeah. Like, why would you post? Very few people post their struggles. Successful people post their struggles. A lot of creators will be like, I'm struggling with this, because they might be, and also because they seem, they relate to the general public.
But the photo will always be in HD.
Okay, sure, yes, but you know, I mean, on a serious note,
are you really struggling then?
I have posted my struggles, maybe with health and fitness, or with certain mental health, or with burnout, not to seem relatable, but to be like, dude, I mean, even I'm struggling, and this is how I'm going to overcome it. And people look at you as you grow as a role model, for better or for worse. So you should not just be the person that they watch for 10 to 20 hours a week for the chess or entertainment or word game challenge. You know, you can be a good influence for them. But people, you see how people are having a great time on their social media, or you see all this stuff. They're posting their highlights. They struggle with the same shit that you do too, man.
But they pretend to be these happy people who are always happy, always having a pizza, always like with friends and wearing good clothes.
It gets the clicks, it gets the engagement. Oh my God, look at this like sick new pizza place, you know. But and the same goes.
My Instagram is mostly just brand work, man.
Yeah, I haven't had a brand deal on Instagram, actually. It's all on YouTube. It's all on YouTube and Twitch. I like it though.
My people are like, they like fucking post something normal. Then I have to really, you know, find an occasion. Like, okay, finally I have this one photo I can upload between these 4 brand works. Let's insert this before I put a 5th brand work after this. Because at one point people are gonna be like, what the fuck are you doing, man? How much money will you make? Do you invest?
Of course.
Of course you do. I mean, but in what?
Well, I knew about crypto before it was ever mainstream. I hate to sound like that, but it's not like I had a lot or anything. Actually, I had like 0, but so whenever I earned money, I would always buy Bitcoin at any price. any price. And that was the first thing that I did. And then I had like a few like random, big stocks, just because I was learning about the stock market. So now what it looks like, I cashed out all of my Bitcoin into Ethereum, and
Nice.
I keep a stash of gambling money for cryptocurrency. So I just make crazy plays on random altcoins, and my philosophy is, if it goes to nothing, then I won't cry about it. And I do the same on the stock market. So I buy some funds, I buy certain stocks that I'm confident in, and then I have my gambling money, which I use for AMC and GameStop and BlackBerry and whatever Wall Street Bets has me play, because I think that's like the way you should do it. And then recently I got into like some angel investing, so into like
Oh, nice.
like a fund, that will buy some companies. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about that, because it'll teach me some cool stuff. It'll like let me.
Very exciting world, this investment. I got to know about it like this. I mean, the past 7-8 months only, I've started
Mhm.
investing a lot, and I'm really enjoying it. I really like looking at that green color plus
Yeah,
gains, capital gains, and everything. It's
I
it's cool.
one thing about myself is that I never understood money. So what I mean by that is I've been earning money from like winning little chess tournaments, like from being a teenager. And I did not grow up poor. Like, I didn't grow up rich, but I didn't grow up poor. So I can't ever be like, oh, rags to riches. So we're never in a spot where we were financially insecure. We were always okay. So when I started teaching chess in college, like in New York City, you can earn probably like, even if, for example, you're 1800. If you're anywhere near normal from any private school, you can earn $100 an hour. You could teach a group of kids $100 an hour. Private lesson, $100 an hour. You just have to find the right audience in New York City. Obviously not the same for other parts of the world. I'm just saying specifically New York City. I was earning money in college. And that was like step number one. And I always could afford like a 1-bedroom in someone's apartment. That's big in New York City. You find someone on Craigslist or somewhere, you find an apartment together. You can pay for your room, you can pay for your expenses, and you work and you go to school and whatever. And so I was like earning money. But then everything exploded. I started streaming, like everything exploded. So I earned more money than I did before.
Yeah.
Considerably more money than I did before. I'm still the same person. Like, fundamentally, nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed.
I just have more money that I can invest into things or turn into even more money and then donate to charity and then buy my family something nice and treat them all, like, to cover their medical expenses, take them on first class flights if we ever fly to Europe, which we fucking will never do at this rate, but so stuff like that. So I never, like, money will never, I don't think it will ever change the way I view anything, because it's just a matter of, okay, well, before I could fly economy, but now I want some more leg room, so I don't need to think about spending this thing. Or
I think money just makes your basic needs a little higher. Like, now this is your basic needs.
No,
Yeah.
not even. My basic needs are the exact same. Like, I don't.
No, I mean, like, what do you mean? Like, for example, like I bought a better phone now. Like, I didn't need this phone, but I got it. I didn't need a gaming setup, but I got it. And now this is my new normal. I used to stream from my laptop for an entire 6-7 months period.
Yeah, sure.
I got
sure.
I got a VR headset. I didn't need it, but I just got it. So I like it. Things like that,
Okay,
small
okay.
things.
Yeah, in the sense that, like, I pay more money for an apartment. Yes.
Yes. I
but
got a light. Did you get like a proper setup with lights and with everything?
I have the same
Like-
setup. Nothing changed about my setup. I invested in the setup early. Once the opportunities open up, yeah, I was kind of taught that you spend on travel.
On travel, yeah. Now I'll go to. I couldn't afford like to go to another country, but now
Where's the first place you're gonna go?
Amsterdam.
So Amsterdam in photos looks like the most beautiful place. It's like incredible architecture, history, like everything. I was supposed to go last year, 2019, and I got sick. I got sick in the Czech Republic with my friend. That was the trip. My stomach infection, the hospital, $4,000. I got sick in the Czech Republic. We were gonna go to 5 more cities and play 2 chess tournaments. I got sick during the first chess tournament. I had to go back to the United States. I missed the whole trip. So I didn't get to go to Vienna, Austria. I didn't get to go to Prague. I didn't get to go to Brussels. I didn't get to go to Tallinn, Estonia, and I didn't get to go to Riga, Latvia. I didn't get to go to any of those cities. But now I get to go with Lucy. So
well, that's awesome. Like, have you ever been to Amsterdam?
no, oh sorry, Amsterdam. It was Brussels, then Amsterdam, then Tallinn, and then
I only heard my friends' stories, you know, like comics and all. Bro, you should go to Amsterdam. You should check this out. You should eat their brownies. You should, you know.
Yeah, they make good chocolate there for sure.
Good chocolate, yeah, great chocolate actually. Good pastry and good stuff. And I'll go meet Anish Giri also there. Maybe I'll have some brownies with him.
Dude, I have a question. I have a question for you. Maybe as a last topic. You ever feel like you don't belong on screen with your guests?
Many times, man. I was streaming with Gary Kasparov yesterday, bro.
That's one of the things I was gonna say. Like, you know,
like all the fucking time.
It's a little different because in my eyes, you're developing chess player. You didn't even play the game till a year ago. So your first and foremost thing is comedian, big YouTuber, ambassador. That's like you have certain things. I'm a chess. I've been in chess, right? So whenever I stream with any of these guys, I think at a fundamental level, seeing maybe my success and the fact that I'm not a serious chess player and the fact that I'm a little bit of an asshole and I have I'm sarcastic and all this stuff, I don't think they respect me. And I will go to the grave saying, I don't think these guys respect me. And I'm not even sure I command the respect. So I'm always
That is a benefit I have. That's a benefit I have because no one expects me to be a good chess player. Is he?
Yeah, so, I guess. Yeah. But
at the same time, I struggle a lot when I'm, in my own head, of course. Like, oh man, what am I doing with Gary Kasparov? What am I doing with Boris' girlfriend? What am I doing with Vishy Anand on the stream right now? Like, oh my God, okay, all right, pretend to be cool about it. It's all cool. He's just a world champion, 5-time world champion. Gary Kasparov is just world champion for 15 years. That's cool. He's another guy. You
never worry that like they're not actually your friends? Like, I always worry, like, I have no idea if Anish and I are friendly. Like, I have full intention if I ever go to the Netherlands to be like, hey, Anish, like, you want to, like, hang out? Like, I don't know. This man closes the door and goes, God, I hate that son of a bitch. Like, I have no idea, man. I really don't know.
I think I can read people. I think in that way, I can feel that, oh, this guy is genuine. This guy is just fucking around. He just needs some, fans. But so many people, man, like, in my life, I feel they're very... I always give them the benefit of being awesome. I just feel that Levy, he must be cool. He must feel good. He must be, if I go to a city, he'll definitely welcome me. If I meet Anish, he'll definitely roll me I don't know.
Roll up in the car.
Roll up in the car, in Amsterdam. And we'll have some cookies or some pastries or some, I don't know, brownies maybe.
Yeah.
And I always feel that. And I hope that happens.
Yeah, I have full intention. So hopefully he's not like, hey man, I'm busy. I was very happy he said yes to the show.
Yeah. Dude, Anish is one of the most one of the people I really look up to. Like, that guy is like the perfect guy according to me.
Yeah.
He's funny. He's rich. He's got a great family, 2 kids now, and he spends time everywhere.
You were describing me until you said 2 kids. Yeah, you were. I thought you were talking about me. Of course.
He's good at chess. So yeah.
Okay, now I definitely know that we're talking about me again. Yeah, it's true. When I think about Anish, yeah, for sure. I don't know how guys like that keep it together, but this kind of ties everything we've been talking about together. The level of obsession that you need, the same way you were talking about comedy. Like, if you wanted to go back to stand up and you're always obsessed about comedy and making everything about that, like, I am not in the mindset to become a grandmaster, and I have made a kind of an internal commitment to play a chess tournament every month because people liked all the recaps I did in Las Vegas. They had a really good time following the tournament. It was fun interacting with fans. They were all like super nice, and it was a great experience, minus the fact that no one had a mask on, and even though I'm vaccinated, I'm like, oh shit, if I get COVID, this is going to be the place. And I didn't, but it's a little scary being out in these massive crowds. But
like... Is that why do you not like imagine yourself to be playing chess professionally ever again? Like,
so if let's say there's a day I hit grandmaster, I'm never playing a chess tournament again. I hate chess. I hate playing chess. It's awful.
Is it because of how much there is that you need to learn?
Yeah, it's unbearably difficult for me. I've the amount of work that I would need to put in to reap basically no benefit, my life would be basically completely the same. The same. Even when I was teaching chess, okay, I can charge a little more to new students. I can say, I'm a grandmaster, I'll charge you $20 more per hour or something. In my mind, I wasn't even a national master. I wasn't 2200 until I was like 18 years old. I mean, I was a late bloomer because of how I quit it in my teenage years. I never even thought I would become an international master. Like, there have been days in my life I play a really stressful long game of chess and I win against a stronger player. And like, I've cried in my hotel room because of just, I randomly have these massive drops in confidence of my ability, or, you know, it's such an emotional roller coaster and I don't think I can do it. Even when I became an international master and I was super high up there, I immediately lost 90 rating points. Like, for me, when I take my foot off the gas in training chess, I fall. Like, I really fall. So even the smallest of successes in tournaments, like I had a good tournament in Vegas, it's almost like in disbelief. Like, it's like almost like it didn't even happen. And beating strong players or having good successes, it's like the biggest form of happiness. It's like unbelievable, you know? So every time I beat a grandmaster in a long game, it's like brand new. It's like almost the first time. It's like I can't even believe it happened. So yeah, meanwhile, online, I'm beating grandmasters every day. So
yeah, but it's good that you found your thing, man. Like your YouTube thing and everything. Now your life is sorted. You're chilling. You're doing what you love. It's going well, and I hope it just keeps going like that, man.
I hope so too. Yeah, but my mom even is like, dude, you gotta play.
You gotta play.
Gotta play. Gotta become grandmaster. You gotta, one day you gotta do it. I don't know if it's now, 5 years, but you gotta do it. And I don't love it. I hate studying. I try to do it and I take lessons and.
What will change in your life? Nothing will change, right? Even if you become a grandmaster, or it'll be like another title.
I don't know. Maybe I'll be infinitely happier. Maybe I'll fill a gap I didn't even know existed. I don't know.
No one's infinitely happier, man.
Maybe
I know
not.
grandmasters.
Vidit's not like super happy.
Everyone has their own things. No one can be super happy.
Yeah, of course.
Like even at the top, like I think Magnus is pretty stressed right now because he has a world title to defend.
Yeah,
I think we are like, as streamers, we have a very, audience that wants to watch us, wants to see us chill, and that's I find it very awesome. I find it like therapeutic. You just chill, and I can just go and have some fun time over there, and they like watching me, and that runs my home and everything also at the same time. So I don't think I could be any luckier. I'm very grateful for what I have, man, and I'm sure so are you.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
for all my sarcasm and all my nonsense, like, look, the people that have watched me long enough, they know that I'm a very down-to-earth guy. I just say it like it is sometimes. And yeah, I mean, I'll tell you very openly to go get fucking vaccinated, for example. And if you don't want to and you hate me because of it, well, sorry, but that's like something that's me.
And I'll go and openly tell you guys to go pee on the tree if you find one. Like, that's cool.
You should do both of those things after this show is over. You should.
Yeah. Get vaccinated and pee on any tree that you see near your house. This is not financial advice. Yeah,
not financial advice. And also legally we are gone. So if you sue us for saying to do that, I don't want to be, like Joe Rogan every week trending on Twitter because of some way he said something during his podcast. And
don't worry, we are not Joe Rogan.
Not yet. It's the goal. So man, this was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun, man.
I feel like honestly I could do this for another like hour. I'm very late to something.
Yeah, that's cool. Same here, bro. It's like 2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. So I also go sleep. And let's put it out there. And guys, do subscribe to Levy. He's a great guy.
Subscribe to Samay also. Yeah. And second channel. I need 2 silver buttons. I want 2 silver buttons,
Yeah. So that the next time there's a robbery at his house, they can take at least one.
He didn't take either, man. They were there and he didn't like them. I hope he like at least saw me, like my channel. I was like, oh, what's that? And then went to look it up. So he robbed me, but now
then he decided to not. Yeah, he probably saw your channel and then he decided to not take it this way.
All right.
Well, man, see you.
This was a lot of fun. Bye, Samay.
Bye.
Thank you so much to both the listeners and those watching the video on YouTube. As always, I will say, if you made it this far, I just want to thank you personally. I appreciate your continued support. I still don't have a Patreon, but if you'd like to donate or support or anything like that, I do have PayPal donation links on my stream, on my YouTube channel, and I do have courses available at my website, gotham-chess.com. See you all back in Gotham City in future episodes.